2 years ago, Chelsea thought they had signed the future of South American football. In fact, they thought they had signed two of them. One was Estevão Willian, the Brazilian phenomenon many called the next Neymar. The other was Kendry Páez, Ecuador's once-in-a-generation talent who was being compared to the very best teenagers on the continent. Scouts couldn't separate them. Both were playing senior football before turning 18. Both were breaking records. Both were expected to become Chelsea superstars. Fast forward to today, and their careers couldn't be more different. Estevao has already shown Chelsea fans exactly why he's regarded as one of the most exciting young players in world football. Injuries may have limited his minutes, but every time he steps onto the pitch, he brings energy, creativity, and excitement. Kendry Páez, meanwhile, is fighting to save his career. Failed loan spells, concerns about his attitude, questions over his professionalism, and reports that River Plate could terminate his loan early have completely changed the narrative surrounding one of football's brightest prospects. So what happened? How did two players who once stood side by side as South America's next superstars end up on completely different paths? And perhaps more importantly, what does Kendry Páez's downfall reveal about Chelsea's previous transfer strategy? Because this isn't simply the story of a Wonderkid who lost his way. It's the story of why Chelsea have already started changing how they recruit players under Xabi Alonso. Before we talk about the mistakes, though, we need to remember why Chelsea were so desperate to sign Kendry Páez in the first place. When Kendry Páez emerged at Independiente del Valle, he looked destined for greatness. Everything about his game screamed elite talent. His first touch was effortless. His vision allowed him to see passes most players couldn't even imagine. He could glide through tight spaces, beat defenders with ease, and dictate the tempo of games despite being years younger than everyone around him. Ecuador quickly promoted him to the senior national team, making him one of the youngest internationals in the country's history. Across South America, he was viewed as one of the continent's two biggest teenage prospects alongside Estevão Willian. Chelsea acted quickly, agreeing a deal in 2023 before European rivals could react. The plan looked simple. Leave him in Ecuador until he turned 18, then gradually introduce him to European football before integrating him into Chelsea's first team. It was the same long-term vision the club had for several of their young signings. But football development rarely follows a straight line. After officially joining Chelsea in 2025, Paez was sent to Strasbourg, where the club hoped regular first-team football would accelerate his development. Instead, it became the beginning of his decline. Rather than playing as a creative attacking midfielder, he was often deployed as a center forward, forcing him into physical battles that didn't suit his strengths. League One's intensity exposed his lack of physical development, while his confidence slowly disappeared. His numbers dropped dramatically, managing just one league goal before Chelsea ended the loan early. Unfortunately, tactical issues weren't the only problem. Reports from France suggested coaches were becoming increasingly concerned about his professionalism. Stories emerged of late-night partying, clubbing, and vaping, while questions were raised about his commitment in training. Suddenly, one of the world's brightest talents wasn't being discussed because of his football anymore, but because of everything happening away from it. Chelsea hoped a move to River Plate would reset his career, but instead, things became even worse. Shortly after his arrival, River Plate changed managers, and the new coach, Eduardo Coudet, reportedly demanded far greater work rate and defensive commitment from his attacking players. Those were already the biggest criticisms leveled at Paez. Instead of becoming an important player, he found himself frozen out of the squad, with reports suggesting the Argentine Giants were even considering ending his loan early. Compare that to the development of Estevão Willian, and the difference is remarkable. Like Paez, Estevão arrived carrying enormous expectations, but Chelsea resisted the temptation to rush him. He was introduced gradually, protected from excessive pressure, and allowed to adapt at his own pace. Injuries interrupted his progress, but whenever he returned to the pitch, Chelsea supporters saw flashes of genuine brilliance. His dribbling terrified defenders. His creativity changed matches. Every appearance reminded fans why many believe he could become one of the Premier League's next superstars. The difference wasn't simply talent. Both players possessed extraordinary ability. The difference was how their development unfolded. Estevão continued improving despite setbacks. Paez struggled to adapt to senior football, while off-field distractions only made matters worse. Talent may open the door to elite football, but mentality determines whether you stay there. History is filled with gifted players whose careers never matched their potential because discipline, professionalism, and consistency couldn't keep pace with their natural ability. Unfortunately for Kendry Páez, he appears to be heading down that same road unless something changes quickly. Perhaps that's why Chelsea's recruitment strategy has quietly evolved under Xabi Alonso. The previous model wasn't entirely wrong. Signing elite teenagers before their value explodes is smart business. But it's also one of football's biggest gambles. For every Estevão Willian who develops into a future superstar, there will always be another Kendry Páez whose journey takes an unexpected turn. That's simply the reality of developing young footballers. Chelsea have recognized that, instead of relying almost entirely on raw teenage talent, the club is now targeting younger players who already have significant senior experience, stronger tactical understanding, and greater physical maturity. At the same time, they're actively pursuing experienced leaders capable of helping those youngsters develop inside the dressing room. It's a far more balanced approach than before. As for Kendry Páez, his story isn't finished. He's still incredibly young, and football has seen countless players rebuild their careers after difficult beginnings. Kevin De Bruyne struggled at Chelsea before becoming one of the Premier League's greatest midfielders. Mohamed Salah needed years before reaching world-class level. Even Martin Odegaard endured difficult loan spells before flourishing. The talent hasn't disappeared. The question is whether the mentality can catch up with it. Because if Kendry Páez rediscovers his focus, this story could still have a remarkable ending. But if the off-field problems continue, he may become one of the biggest examples of unrealized potential in Chelsea's modern history. So Chelsea fans, here's the big question. If you were making the decision today, would you give Kendry Páez one final opportunity to prove himself at Chelsea? Or has Estevão Willian already shown why only one of these South American Wonderkids deserves a future at Stamford Bridge? Share your thoughts and do not forget to subscribe and hit the notification for more exciting football content.